I'm Margaret Lawson. I'm a pediatric endocrinologist here at the Children's Hospital. A long-awaited research question has finally been answered. Is it possible to prevent type 1 diabetes by altering the kind of formula that children are exposed to in the first months of life? For over 40 years, small research studies have suggested that infant formula may or may not have an effect on the risk of developing type 1 diabetes. 15 years ago, we joined an international effort to try to answer this question with the first large study that could conclusively determine whether there was a relationship between infant feeding and risk of developing type 1 diabetes. The study involved 15 countries. Canada contributed 25% of the participants, 2,159 study-wide. All the children were at high risk for developing type 1 diabetes in that they had a family member with type 1 diabetes and they themselves were shown to be increased risk genetically. We encouraged breastfeeding for all participants in the study, and after breastfeeding they were asked to use one of two infant formulas, either standard cow's milk-based formula or one where the cow's milk had been broken down into small pieces, what we call hypoallergenic formula. And then we followed them, that was for up to 8 months, and we followed them for up to 14 years. This study was extremely well done and wouldn't have been possible without the dedicated commitment of the children and parents who participated in the study and the amazing efforts of the research group nurses and coordinators from across Canada and the other countries, which include the US, Europe, and Australia. The long-awaited results of this study have now been published. They conclusively show that altering the type of protein in infant formula does not affect the risk of developing type 1 diabetes. That is exciting news for parents who have a child who might be at risk of type 1 diabetes, because they now know that they can feed their children the same way as any other infant. Breastfeeding is encouraged for all, and special expensive infant formulas are not required. And as researchers will continue to try to find new ways of preventing type 1 diabetes, which will have impact on these children and their families in Canada and around the world.